Hey guys, Dr. Steve here, back with another episode of Core Wellness TV on a hot fall day here at Charlestown Park. I'm here by the old Portersville Bridge, which is the gateway to the old Rose Island amusement park that's here along the Ohio River. Of course, after a big fire or flood, I can't remember which, or maybe both, they closed it down, but it's a pretty cool piece of history. Anyway, we're coming off of I'm getting ready to take a hike through, spin up into trail number 3 here. Excuse me if you get dizzy, and we're gonna just keep on walking. I'm gonna keep on talking. Coming off of a exciting webinar that we had this past Friday called The New Rules of Core Training. It was really well received, and I wanted to go into a few more things about that, kind of summarize some of the key points for you. It's no longer available. That's up for Core Wellness Institute students, and by the way, that's who always sponsors all of these Core Wellness TV episodes, is the Core Wellness Institute, and that is my online training and coaching program to help people reverse the crossed posture syndrome that happens with stress, whether it comes from mental, emotional, nutritional, or physical problems. Okay, any kind of stress draws you into a predictable pattern of stress and decay. We want to open that up, and there's a specific way of doing that with exercises and stress reduction and nutrition and all that kind of fun stuff. So there's more information on that at reversecpsnow.com. Okay, so to summarize a few things about what I talked about with the new rules, right? The first new rule was that we're going to focus on going deep, intentional. I'm not talking about doing lots of heavy squats and heavy, there's nothing wrong with heavy squats, but I'm not talking about doing a bunch of heavy stuff here. I'm talking about reawakening the same pattern of growth, renewal, and expansion you had from the time you were 0 to 4 years old. All you did was kept pushing away from support points, and that organically made everything come together so you had this nice, beautiful, upright posture. That's the goal. We lose that as stress comes into our life. So the goal is to stay open as much as you can. And that's a deep system. That's an intentional system. That's not a lot of work, okay? It's a thought, not it's an intention, not okay, I have to pull my thumbs out this way and pull my shoulder blades down that way. It's not a piece part thing. It's something that happens organically and as a cobwebs on my legs. As an orchestra, everything comes on together. The diaphragm and the pelvic floor and the abdominal wall come on in this nice, organized, perfectly orchestrated, inborn fashion whenever you just tap back into your primitive patterns. And we talked about getting on the floor and baby back and baby belly and doing some interesting things with support points, but I'm not going to go over the whole thing. But I just wanted to make sure that you knew that some of that's in the Reverse CPS Now free series, where I give an introduction to more of the stuff that's inside the course, and that's available at the blog at gettoyourcore.com. So you can see baby back and baby belly through there. We talked about the pubic bone connection. I did a YouTube on that one. If you can search pubic bone, a pubic bone secret on the blog Get to Your Core, you can find information about that, because all these things are just support points that we had when we were babies, and when we pushed away from them, we had the intention of pushing away from them, things automatically came on like they were supposed to. Unless you were majorly stressed as a child. Or what if you were premature and had a breathing problem at first? Maybe you came out 6 weeks early and your lungs weren't fully developed, so you developed kind of a stress breathing pattern early on. That can affect the whole pattern of development. Of course, diseases of a cerebral palsy, things like that, are obvious things that cause a major distraction for normal development. But 1/3 of us, as I talked about, go through neurodevelopment and don't optimize it. I'm one of those, and you can see that usually with kids who are knock-kneed and scapula really ride up and out, and they have a tendency to really chin poke and really forward tilt their pelvis and really pronate their feet in and really fall in arches, things like that. Those are signs that you have some degree of what they call CCD, or central coordination dysfunction. Okay? So 1/3 of us are kind of behind the 8 ball whenever we come out of the chute. So it's really important to pay attention to this deep core system, because we become amnesiac of it. Amnesiac, so you can say that. So that was the biggest first thing, was deep, and it's a deep and intentional system. And it's not about isolation. It's not about drawing your belly button to your spine. There's a time for that. It's great to build a movement map. It's great to draw your belly in and pull your organs up to kind of give your internal organs a little massage. That's fantastic, okay? But if you're going to pick up a heavy object, you're going to move a couch or do something like that. Get out of the sun here. If you're going to do something like that, you better have your whole core all the way around engaged, right? The side walls, the diaphragm from above, the pelvic floor from below, everything at once, the diaphragm from the back. Everything's going to be strong, and you're actually, in weightlifting, they call it skip fat, meaning, so you don't want to draw in for support. You want to bear down for support if you're going to move a heavy object. Deal? Just get good at that, bracing and breathing. So that was the other thing. No isolation. Make sure you're getting orchestration of everything. Those are the two main things, and I just wanted to reiterate a couple of those things. It was such a good webinar that I'm probably going to be reposting it publicly from time to time, but it is available, like I said, inside the course. So if you really want to get in there and enjoy that, plus like 12 other webinars and all the other stuff that's in the course, that's all in there. So check that out, reversecpsnow.com. So 14 Mile Creek, right there, down through there. 14 Mile Creek feeds in the Ohio River. Again, trail number 3. This is the big thing, guys, with Core Wellness and the CWI and the program and everything. We always talk about 3 pillars: mindset, movement, and nutrition. This mindset of nature always being the reason for healing is really important to get. You have to ground yourself. I've talked about earthing tons of times in past videos. Grounding, getting into nature, following nature is the only way to do it, and that is the idea of playing the whole, trying to get back in touch with your neural developmental younger self. Automatically brings you into a more grounded place in space. And I talked a lot about peace physiology versus stress physiology during the webinar. Meaning, whenever your body is in that, watch what I do. If I have that, let me see if I can get my selfie stick out a little further. Got a new selfie stick. Never had one before. This is going to be a whole new way to give you guys content. Whenever you're giving that sense of pushing away from support points, you see that natural, we're uptight here, but then if we automatically say, okay, where's my support? I can imagine support underneath my hands here. What happened? I got taller. My body dropped down. I've kicked on my parasympathetic nervous system, the peace system, the relaxation system. You cannot heal. You cannot, well, you'll heal, but you'll heal poorly, and it'll take longer if you're in stress mode and you're kicking out stress chemicals all the time. Your body needs to be relaxed, and so your brain gets a little more GABA, right? Remember GABA? It's the relaxing neurotransmitter. It's also what kind of floods your system with alcohol. It's that kind of chillax, it's depressant, really, nervous system depressant. But you can kick all that stuff on just by changing the way you hold your body. So remember that, okay? Peace physiology versus stress physiology. Peace physiology is fat burning physiology. Stress physiology is sugar burning physiology. So if you're trying to lose weight, you better learn to chillax. And what better way to get in through your body? Body-mind. Same thing. Okay? Relax into your body. So stress physiology, peace physiology. And actually I think I'm gonna cut it there unless I have some other insights along the way. That's the other thing about nature, is it sends you creativity and inspiration constantly. If you're always in the same container, driving in your car in your box, and you go to work in your box, and you type on a box, and you get all this, you're almost like a mutant. You're not human, you're You're a domesticated human, as Daniel Vitalis would say on the Rewild Yourself podcast, which I thoroughly enjoy listening to. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, unless I have some other surges along the way. So we'll see you later. I'm going to click the little button on my selfie stick that's connected and see if it'll click off. Okay, you guys knew I wouldn't be able to handle it. The other thing, as I was going up some loose rocks up this little hill back there, I kind of shuddered and had to recatch my balance. And that's another big piece of what you have to do. You have to keep keeping yourself slightly unstable. Don't get too comfortable, right? If you're always walking on a track, walk on a little dirt path, right? You always want to be on the edge of your capacity, at least a little bit. Same thing with exercises. If you do the same exercise over and over again, and you can do 20 of them, they're really not challenging, and you can, you don't even have to think about them, then you're probably not making it challenging enough. That's why, we talk about even just standing on one leg. Okay? That's one challenge. That's too easy for you. You can do that for 20 seconds. Hey, you're going to get more benefit if you start closing your eyes and standing on one leg. Okay? Now you see you're having to work a lot harder because you're taking vision out of it and you're depending on the receptors in your fascia and your skin and your joints and everything. So giving feedback back to your brain so you can have better communication and better stability and better balance. So just working on stop, one leg, right? And then when that gets too easy, you balance on something. And that's what I'm doing now. You got an unstable surface. You have to react quickly from a strong and stable center. And that's a metaphor for life. The ability to react quickly from a strong and stable center. Always knowing your center. Yes, it's important to get way off of it, but be able to snap back to it. Centeredness, being centered. Next thing is the footwear approach. Okay? See if I can. New Balance Minimus. Okay? I am in control of what my foot does, not my shoe. That makes sense? I'm in control of what my foot does. I can actively spread my toes within those shoes. I can feel the earth. I can feel every little nook and cranny, and I have to adapt to it. Adapt and overcome. That's what your foot should do. Every time you strike and go through mid-stance right there, you should go through a little bit of slight pronation, and your foot turns into a loose bag of bones to adapt to terrain. And when you take off, it snaps back into a rigid lever for propulsion. So it's important to not take that away from, don't take that afference, don't take that input away from your feet. Okay, so step down approach. First thing you do, go to a more neutral shoe, okay, that has plenty of cushion, right? Most people that go right into a New Balance Minimus or something like that doesn't have a whole lot of cushion, they're going to feel like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could walk in this thing. Start by getting rid of so much heel. Go to zero drop or very minimal drop from the heel to the toe. Ultras are great. Just look up zero drop, minimal shoes, and start playing around with different types of footwear that puts you in control of what happens with your feet, not the shoe. Deal? Okay. That's right. We're selfie sticking. Yeah.